Hello everybody, Titty back again on the video. Alright guys, it was a long time ago I did a video. I've been really busy and actually I'm still busy, but I'm here at work. And when you work guys, your thoughts goes everywhere and you're analyzing things and you just uh, think about details and things like that. And while I was working, I was thinking about a couple of things, and especially one thing that I was thinking, and I was analyzing with myself, because let's face it, the February month in tennis is not a big mouth in tennis. Month. I mean month, not mouth. It's not a big month in tennis. The February, we don't have any big tournaments going around. Of course, we don't have any majors. We don't have any masters. We have some 250 class tournaments, 500 class tournaments, etc., etc. So I was thinking, I was analyzing. My tennis friends all around the world, tennis is all about the majors. It is all about the majors, and I'm gonna explain you the reasons why. When you think about it, tennis is all about the Grand Slams. Either we like it or not, this is the reality, my tennis friends all around the world. It is, and the players knows this. And that's why the players, they value the majors most in comparison to other tournaments, 250, final class tournaments, masters. And this is, in my opinion, really unfortunate. Because we all know the majors have they are huge in tennis. We all know that. And they are very difficult to win. Not many players win majors. Only a couple of players do win majors. And majority of tennis players, they play a long tennis career, 15, 20 years, without winning one single major. Without winning one single major, let alone winning a couple of them. And I get all that, but to be quite honest, other tournaments, they are as hard as winning as Grand Slam tournaments. Not all of them, not 250 class tournaments, 500 class tournaments, but some masters, my God, they are as difficult winning as the majors. Maybe some of them even more difficult. And I'm gonna tell you why. The Grand Slams, they are huge. They have a huge draw. We have 128 players in Grand Slams, and we have all the kind of players. We have lucky losers, we have qualifiers, we have wild cards. We have players in Grand Slams who play a lot of tournaments on the Challenger Tour because the draw is so big, and those players many times doesn't get in the Masters draws because the Masters draws are much smaller than the Grand Slam draws. Obviously, because the Masters have a shorter field, have less players. We don't have in Masters 128 players. And if we have some of the players, they get buys, especially the high-ranked players. So the Grand Slams, of course, they are the cherry. They are the cherry top in the tennis game. They are the World Cup in tennis. So I get that the Grand Slams, they get a lot of attention, but they doesn't necessarily always. They are not necessarily always harder to win than the Masters. And a tournament like the ATP Tour Final, the last tournament of the year, where the best 8 players in the world compete, that tournament actually doesn't get a lot of attention like it should get. That tournament is really hard to winning. Really is hard winning because only the 8 best players in the world compete. Even though you can afford losing one match and still can win the tournament because we have group stages, we have 2 groups, one group on the other side and the other group on the other side, 4 players in the one group, 4 players in the other group, and you can afford losing one match and still can go all the way and win it. And in some rare occasions you can even lose 2 matches. It has not happened many times. I believe it has happened only once. if I'm not mistaken. I believe Davydenko back in 2009, if I'm not mistaken, correct me down below if I'm wrong. I believe Davydenko in 2009, didn't he lose 2 matches in the group stage and went on to win the title? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but something in my head says that he did that. Anyway, the Grand Slams are the World Cup in tennis, and they get all the attention. But it is sad. According to me, it is sad because other tournaments are as hard to win, if not maybe harder than the Grand Slams. But people doesn't care about them. Besides the players, the coaches of the players, the family of the players, because we should never forget that the players who are playing this sport that we love, at least we tennis lovers, they care about these tournaments of different reasons, of the money, because this is their living. We should never forget this is their living. They travel all around the world and get paid for playing these tournaments. So they obviously do, especially the low-ranked players and players who are, say, outside the top 30. Big, huge players, they don't care about small tournaments. Of course, they want to win them, but if they lose, they will still sleep good at nights, because obviously they have a lot of money, sponsors, a lot of points, etc., etc. But lower ranked players, they care even if they lose in smaller tournaments. Anyway, so the players obviously care, at least majority of them, as at least players who are outside top 30, they care if they lose in the smaller tournaments. But big players, especially the top 10 players, they don't care much if they lose in the smaller tournaments. So the players care of different reasons: money, points, sponsors, deals, status, etc., etc. But tennis fans around the world, especially casual tennis fans, they really don't give a big attention to the ATP Tour outside the Grand Slams. They really don't. Look at the February month. For example, Medvedev has been really rock solid this February month so far. He won Rotterdam, he won Doha, and played really good tennis, solid tennis, defeated some decent players on the way. Nobody really gives a damn besides himself, his coach, his wife, his family. But casual tennis fans, they really don't care. And you know that I'm speaking the truth. They really don't give a damn. Because you know why? He lost the 3rd round at Australian Open earlier this year against Sebastian Korda. People remember that Daniil Medvedev, he lost in the 3rd round at Australian Open earlier this year against Sebastian Korda in straight sets. After that, he has won 2 straight titles, in 2 consecutive weeks. He won Rotterdam and he won Doha. People doesn't give a damn. Felix Yalassime last year, he won 4 ATP Tour titles. Andre Rublev last year, he won 4 ATP Tour titles. Nobody was talking about them to be one of the best players of that year, 2022. Nobody. Who were people talking about that people was talking about that they are one of the best players of that 2022 season? They were talking about Nadal, who won 2 majors. They were talking about Djokovic, who won 1 major, Wimbledon. And they were talking about Carlos Alcaraz, who won also 1 major, US Open. Carlos Alcaraz, he won 5 titles, if I'm not mistaken. Djokovic, he won 5 titles. Nadal won 4 titles last year. Nadal won as many titles as Rublev, as many titles as Felix Yalassime last year. Rublev and Felix Yalassime, nobody give a damn that those two won as many titles as Rafael Nadal. Both Alcaraz and both Djokovic, they won 5 titles each last year. One more title than Rafa Nadal. Majority of tennis fans around the world, majority of tennis analysts around the world, majority of tennis YouTubers, including myself, we were considered Nadal as the player of the year last year. Why? He won 2 majors. If you look at the old legends and great tennis players in the past who have won majors, how many of you remember how many titles they have won? Say, take example, some of them. Pistol Pete Sampras. We all know, if I say to you guys who are watching this video now, how many Grand Slams did Pistol Pete won? I'm 100% certain that majority of you, maybe all of you, know that he has won 14 majors. If I say how many titles has he won overall, I'm pretty confident that only a few of you will know. Only few of you. I'm one of them. He won 64 titles. If I ask you how many Grand Slams did Andre Agassi win in his career, I know that majority of you know the answer. I know it, which was 8. If I ask you how many titles did he win overall, I know that only few of you will know the answer. Only few of you, which is 60. The same thing with other players like Boris Becker. If I ask you how many titles did Boris Becker win overall in his career, I am pretty confident you don't know it. You don't know the answer. If I ask you how many Grand Slams did Boris Becker win, I am pretty confident that majority of you knows the answer, which is 6. How many tennis titles did he win overall? I know the answer. 49. If I ask you how many Grand Slam titles did Stefan Edberg win, you will know the answer as well. You know, I'm pretty confident that majority of you will know the answer, which is 6. Boris Becker won 6 Grand Slam titles. If I ask you, I'm not Boris Becker, I mean Stefan Edberg. Stefan Edberg. I spoke about Boris Becker a couple of minutes ago. If I ask you about Stefan Edberg, how many majors did he win? Majority of you know the answer, which is 6. If I ask you how many titles overall did Stefan Edberg win, you don't know it. I'm pretty confident you don't know it, which was 41. And this list can be long, like Safin, how many titles did he win overall? I don't think many of you knows that, which was 15. But if I ask you how many Grand Slam titles did Marat Safin win, I am pretty confident that 99% of you knows the answer, which was 2. The same thing with Lleyton Hewitt. How many Grand Slam titles did Lleyton Hewitt win? Majority of you knows the answer, which is 2 Grand Slam titles did Lleyton Hewitt win. How many titles overall did Lleyton Hewitt win? I am pretty confident that majority of you doesn't know the answer, which is 30 titles overall did Lleyton Hewitt win. This is unfortunate. Why does Grand Slams take all the attention? It is of some reasons. We have only few of them, which is 4. The biggest prize money are there to win. The biggest points are there to win. The tradition also takes a big place and role here. We have old tradition on the majors. They have been around almost 100 years, almost. The other tournaments, they have not been around as many years as these 4 special tournaments. So, at the end of the day, tennis is really all about the Grand Slams. It really is. Yeah, it is great being world number 1 in weeks, winning Masters, and things like that. Take one player like Stan Wawrinka. He has won 16 titles overall. Nobody gives a damn about that. What people gives a damn is that he has won 3 majors. The dude has never been world number 1 in his career. Nobody gives a damn about that. People think Stan Wawrinka has won 3 Grand Slam titles. Andy Murray, he has won 46 titles overall. I don't think many of you knows that, but majority of you knows that Andy Murray has won 3 Grand Slam titles. Casual tennis fans they don't give a damn about other tournaments, really. They really don't give a damn. Die-hard tennis fans like me and some of you who watch my videos, they gives a damn about all the tournaments, more or less. But what are the majority of people in the world? What are they? They are not diehard tennis fans. They are casual tennis fans. So there you have the reasons why the Grand Slams are the biggest things in tennis, and I think this is unfortunate. I'm a little sad about that, because that should not be the case, but unfortunately that is the case. So tennis is really all about the Grand Slams, my tennis fans all around the world. It really is. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.